To set up a new event, we have to use the OE2010 software. Click on the OE icon down here in the taskbar. That fires up OE2010. If you are prompted to check for updated releases of the software, you can check if you wish, but it's safe enough just to say no. That dialog box doesn't always appear. To set up the new event, click on the event here, then new. That gives us the create new event dialog box. In the description, we put the name of the event, and just like the event folder, we want to prefix that with the date to code the event. So again, that would be the 2 digits for the year, 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day within the month, and then the name of the event itself. You can see here that that's defining the name of an event folder that's used internally within the software. The next step here is to select the actual date itself. In this case, I've chosen the 30th of October. Zero time. The zero time is something that's used by OE2010 internally, and we should typically set that to say 2 hours before the beginning of the event. So if the event is set to start at 11 o'clock, we would enter 9 o'clock in the form 09:00:00. If it is 24-hour clock, so if it's an afternoon event, again, you'd put in something, say 13:00:00:00 if it was for a 3 o'clock start. The chip system we use is Emmet, so change that. Having set that up, we can click OK. There is another one step here just to finally configure the Emmet details. So event settings now. Emmet's there again. This time we have a settings button. Click on that. We need to tick the box that says use start unit for the real-time start. We leave for all classes ticked. We leave use a finish control ticked. We leave the mode as time taking read the punch from the chip, just as it's set. What we do have to enter is the finish control code numbers. The finish units on the stakes are always control code 249, so we put 249 in. And the last thing we leave as is the reading device is the 250 reader, so we leave that button set there. Click OK, click OK again, and that's the first step in setting up the event. The next step in setting up the event is to import the course data that has been provided by the planner. You need to get this file from the planner. It's a course data file, it's an XML file. If we have a look here in event files, we're working on this test event for the purposes of this video. Look in there, I've already placed a test event course data file in there. Typically the planner will email that to you before the event, so take it, extract that from the email and drop it into the new test event folder as described in the previous step. So we have the course data there. So we go back into OE2010. We check that we're still, I can dismiss that again. We check that we're in the correct event. It tells us up in the title bar here. This is the event. If this weren't the event, if you had been looking at another one, you can click on Event Select. This brings up the list of events that are on the machine, and you can choose another event here, but I'll stick with test event for the purposes of this demonstration. Okay, so we're here. The next step is to import the courses. So we click on Courses and then Import. It brings up this Import Courses dialog box. Now everything essentially gets left as it is here. So Clear and Create again is set under Courses. Course number is set under Identify Courses By. Clear and Create again is set under Controls. The file format is XML IOF standard. What we do need to do is select the file that we're going to import. So we click on this icon to the right of the file name there, select file. In this case it says the folder isn't found, it's looking for a folder that's no longer there. But we can go back, click here to select a folder. We're within the event files, that's the event files folder here within my documents within MAROC as described earlier. We can open up the event files and we can scroll to the folder containing the course data. In this case we're working on test event. Click on that and in here you'll see the test event course data. So click on that and we can say OK. The full file name here will now be correct for the file we want to import. We're ready to import. Click on OK. It gives us a warning here that all existing course assignments will be removed. We don't have any yet here, but if you repeat this process, it basically removes anything you've imported before. So it's just a warning. Click yes. We know what we're doing here. We get another warning, importing courses. The import may damage the data if the import file contains errors. Do we know what we're doing? Yes, we do know what we're doing. That goes off and does the import. A couple of things to check here. We should see that there are no errors. It tells us how many courses have been imported, in this case 7, and it tells us how many controls there are being used across the 7 courses. So look out for no errors and the number of courses being correct. Once we've done that, we can close that dialog box, and that's the course data imported. The next step in setting up the event is to define the entry classes. As this is a color-coded event, the entry classes and the courses have a one-for-one match, so we give the entry classes the same name as the courses. To set up the classes, we click Entries and then Edit. This may just take a couple of moments to bring up the following screen, which it's doing now. And here you'll see this multi-tabbed window. We have competitors, clubs, classes, and alternative classes. This is where we'll enter the competitors later, but for now we're setting up the classes. At the moment there are no classes found, so we click on the green plus button there, which says insert a new record. There's that, and this is it setting up here. So we enter the short code for the class, in this case BL I'll use for blue, the long name being blue spelt out. We have to put in a start fee. We can put in 0, that's okay. And once we've entered a row, we hit the little floppy disk button here, which says save. It does ask us to confirm that the class won't pay any start fee, and it will do this repeatedly for each line we enter, unfortunately. So we click yes, it takes us on to the next row. We can use the tab key to move between columns here. The next class here is BR for Brown, BROWN. This time start fee is filled in, so I can just click the validate input and save floppy disk again. Does that, confirm OK, and so on. We can enter each of the different classes. I'll just do that fairly quickly here for the classes in this test event. Save, yep. And the next one is light green. And save, yes. The next one is orange, so OR, and save. The next one is white. Mistake there, I can go back and correct it though. WH, white, and save. And then the last one here is yellow, and I'll hit save again. The way that OE2010 works, it always adds another record allowing you to continue entry, but once you're done, what you should do is hit this sort of backwards arrow here, cancel insert mode button, and this is common on other inputs as well, such as entering competitors, so click that and we have our classes set up. That's all that's required now in setting up the classes, so we can dismiss that. The final step now is to complete setting up the event, we need to associate the entry classes with the courses they're going to run. We imported the courses earlier, we've just defined the classes, now we tie the two together. So to do that, we click on Courses and then Classes. That brings up this Assign Classes to Courses dialog box, and this is very straightforward. Under Course here you can click in one of the cells, and there's a little drop down arrow at the right hand side, and this allows us to select the appropriate course. So the blue entry class is running the blue course. As I say, it's color coded, so everything matches up one for one. After you've entered each, hit the floppy disk save icon. Brown's running brown, save, and then green's running green. If you don't hit save and try moving on, it'll ask you to confirm that you want to save anyway, so you can do it either way. So light green, and save, and orange, and save that, and then white, I'll associate with white, save that, and finally yellow, associated with yellow, this time I'll use that one. That's the entry classes defined, the courses were imported earlier, we've associated the entry classes with the courses, we can now dismiss that dialog box, and that is the event setup. The next time you'll use OE2010 is to actually enter competitors.